Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I am Shuk Parmar, your host for today's webinar. My team and I are here to make sure you have a seamless and engaging experience. If you have any questions or need assistance, feel free to use the chat window. The topic for today is accelerate app development by using GitHub Copilot. This is the Advantage India Skilling and AI NSI initiative by Microsoft aimed at empowering the future with AI skills at scale. It highlights key focus areas such as data and AI, Office 365 Copilot, GitHub Copilot, prompt engineering, and security. The initiative emphasizes the role of AI in skill development and digital transformation. Anyone who is interested to join these sessions, please connect with us. And also anyone who wants to organize these exclusive sessions in an organization or college, please do let us know as these sessions are absolutely free. Today's event is sponsored by Synergetics and Microsoft. Before we dive into today's session, let me take a moment to introduce Synergetics. Synergetics is a leading edge learning solution provider in India, offering specialized training and consulting services. We empower businesses and professionals to thrive in today's fast evolving landscape by delivering transformative learning experiences. Our core focus is on enabling digital transformation through innovative skilling programs, advisory services, and end to end implementation support. From modernizing IT frameworks to mastering emerging technologies like AI, cloud computing, and DevOps, Synergetics is committed to equipping you with the tools and knowledge to succeed. These are the Synergetics learning solutions, which are persona based onboarding, onboarding add on, certification, certification add on, reskilling, emerging technology training, certification hackathon, cloud adoption, latest technology training, sales, pre sales training, practice playbook, and architecting. These are the learning solutions which are offered by Synergetics. If you want to know more about this, please connect with us. This is the Microsoft certification skilling journey. The journey begins with the fundamentals certification, then progresses to advanced role based certifications, and finally to expert level certifications. It's my pleasure to introduce Mahendra Shinde. With 15 years of experience as a software consultant and trainer, Mr. Mahendra Shinde is an expert in cloud computing, DevOps, and software development. He is a Microsoft certified trainer and has trained hundreds of professionals in Azure, Kubernetes, and with DevOps. At Synergetics, he plays a key role in training teams from top companies like L&T Infotech, Capgemini, and Wipro. His sessions are practical, insightful, and highly valued by professionals. The agenda for this webinar is Introduction to GitHub Copilot, setting up GitHub Copilot, core features and capabilities, practical demonstrations, best practices for effective use, enhancing code quality and efficiency, challenges and considerations. You have to follow the code of conduct, which will create a respectful environment for all the participants. Please note participants are not allowed to take screenshot of the presentation and cannot do screen recording. Your journey matters. As you explore, learn, and grow, we encourage you to share your learning experience with us about how this training helped you in your career. How to share this, just write a post about your learning experience and tag us on LinkedIn. Then record a short video sharing key takeaways from our skilling session. Get featured in our AI skilling success showcase on LinkedIn, and the best stories will be highlighted across our social media platforms and community events. Do follow us on our social media platforms to get relevant updates on upcoming webinars, workshops, and certification training programs. The link is shared in the chat box. We run communities on Meetup. This is the emerging technology community. Anyone who are eager to learn about technological knowledge can join this community on Meetup. We have multiple communities in Pune, Gujarat, Nagpur, and Indore. Those who are interested to join this community, please log in to the Meetup app and gain your knowledge for free. Thank you for listening to me. We'll now hand over the mic to our speaker. Thank you.
So, yeah, thank you, Shub. Uh, yeah, hi everyone. My name is Mahendra Shinde. I hope I'm audible to all of you. Hello. Am I audible to all of you? Okay, thank you. Fine. Thank you. So in today's session, we'll discuss how we can accelerate application development with GitHub Copilot. Okay, so just give me a minute. I'll start presenting my screen. Yeah, here it is. So today in this session, we are going to discuss GitHub Copilot, what kind of tool it is and how it might help you to accelerate your app development or accelerate your overall development activities. So before we start with the session, I want to know how many of you are developers and which programming language or which development platform you use. Like there might be a Java developers, there might be .NET developers, there might be front-end developers using multiple JavaScript frameworks, right? So may I know? Sunil has already mentioned he is a Java developer. What about others? Quickly put your platform, language platform, whatever it is, in a chat window. So I'll get to know how many developers we have. Okay, we have Python developer. Python is a versatile language, so it might be development with Python, data science with Python, or something else, even automation. Okay, fine. So overall, Copilot is an AI tool dedicated for developers. React for front end. Okay, good, Sunil. So Sunil here is a full stack developer. Good, fine. No, okay. So let's continue. Before we talk about GitHub Copilot, let us spend few minutes to understand AI. Okay. Artificial intelligence is a field of computer science that seek to create intelligent machines that can replicate or exceed human intelligence, that can mimic human intelligence, the way we take decisions, right? Artificial intelligence is currently a very popular term. Even people from outside IT industry, outside software industry, now have some kind of familiarity with artificial intelligence. One subset of artificial intelligence is machine learning, a subset that enable machine to learn from an existing data. So you provide your machine volume of data to study, build models, build algorithms, and later those models and algorithms can be used in some decision-making purpose. Then there is even a subset of machine learning, which is called deep learning, a technique in which layers of neural networks are used to process data and make decisions. Now, artificial intelligence, there are a lot many organizations who are currently working on artificial intelligence. There are organizations who have built their own models for different kind of tasks. Okay. And all those organizations, they have employed deep learning and machine learning, right, to build their models, a general purpose model, basically. And you can actually choose from all those models, or you can choose which model you can use. So to give you an example, there is OpenAI, for example. OpenAI is an organization, open source organization who build GPT model. And the same GPT model is now being used by ChatGPT and also by GitHub Copilot. Now, when we talk about something like ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot, you know what is common in both these tools? They are both generative AI tools. Now, what is generative AI? Generative AI means when we use AI to generate certain content, certain original content, that is generative AI. Now, the generated content might be images, audio, video, or text, anything. It could be anything, right? Do you know in ChatGPT you can generate images as well? Use DAL-E model for generating images, for example. That is generative AI. Now, as I told you, there are many different vendors or there are many different organizations who have invested in AI development or who have built their own AI model, general purpose AI models, basically. So these organizations are number one, OpenAI. OpenAI is a well-known platform or well-known organization who build models like GPT-4 and DAL-E. Both these models are available under ChatGPT, right? GPT-4 is for text and DAL-E is for image generation. Their key strength is advanced language understanding. You can ask OpenAI question, right? You can ask ChatGPT a question, and you can communicate with ChatGPT like you are communicating with a human-like communication. Okay, so that is the strength of these models. We also have Google AI. Google has their own models like Imagen and Gemini. Okay, so Gemini and Imagen are two different models they have. These are multi-model AI. Multi-model AI means they can do lot much different tasks. Their key strength is search and large-scale AI operations. Do you know that Gemini is now available in almost all Android phones as of now? If you have a certain version of Android installed, Android OS installed in your mobile phone, you will get Gemini instead of Google Assistant now. Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of an AI model from Google. Microsoft is also actively working with AI, and they have built their own Azure AI, which is basically based on AI models built by OpenAI, right? The models available with Microsoft now is called Azure AI GPT-4 model. They provide enterprise AI solutions, cloud-based deployment, and security is their key strength. Then there is Anthropic, which has developed something called Cloud a key model, right? A conversational AI model, which is whose key strength is ethical and safe AI development. And then finally, we have Meta AI from WhatsApp, right? They have a model called Llama and Make a Video, which are open source AI models. And their key strength is accessibility and transparency. Yeah, right. Okay, I don't know why, but yeah. Okay, anyways, Facebook is known for transparency, right? Yeah. Now, what are the top four capabilities and use cases for AI? If we talk about OpenAI, for example, which is the main model, OpenAI has built a model and Copilot uses this model. Okay, so OpenAI models are mostly used for content generation, for summarization, for code generation, and for semantic search. You can use this model, GPT model, basically, for all these four types of use cases. Any idea why I have highlighted code generation? What do you think? Why this particular part is highlighted, code generation? Any guess? Yeah, this is what is relevant to our today's session. Today's session, we are not talking about summarization, semantic search, and other content generation. We are talking about code generation. See, this is where the difference comes in. If you want to ask a generic question, use ChatGPT. But if you want assistance in your code, in your development, use GitHub Copilot. That is code generation, a specific use case. And the funny thing is, both ChatGPT and GitHub Copilot claims to use same model, GPT-4o, but their usage is different. They are specialized, fine-tuned. GitHub Copilot is fine-tuned for your development activities, for code development, for code generation. Okay. There are multiple models are there that can be used for classification of data, sentiment analysis, extraction of data, even generate email messages, right? So there are so many different use cases, and we are here today. We are focusing on code agent or coding agent, AI based or a coding agent that will use AI to help you develop much faster. So this one tool that we are talking about today in this session is GitHub Copilot. Please remember one thing, the term Copilot is being used by other services from Microsoft as well. So if I just say Copilot, that would create a confusion. Okay. But for this session right now, we are talking about only GitHub Copilot and no other Copilot. Make sense? Because there are a lot many other products Microsoft has released recently, and they use the similar word Copilot. Anyways, let's get back here. So GitHub Copilot, what does it do? GitHub Copilot is AI-powered code assistant aimed at helping developers write better code more efficiently. What is that now? Let's take a scenario. You are a new developer, or you are, let's say, a fresher who was assigned a project, right? And your team leader or your project manager implemented a strategy called pair programming. Have you heard about pair programming? PAIR, pair programming, pair development. It means there are two people working together as one small team, right? So you have been given a partner who will help you with your development activity. So you both are given a task like implement a feature, okay, or fix a bug, something like that. Either a feature development, bug fix, support, some kind of activity was given to you, and you both will together work on that activity. Now, what is benefit of pairing a fresher with an experienced developer? What do you think? Hello? What if there is a team of two developers, one a fresher, a new joinee, and the other one is, let's say, an experienced developer. Okay. That experienced developer will help you at lot many different places for knowledge sharing. Yes. Now let's see, there is a smart experienced developer given to you. GitHub Copilot is going to play that role. So let's say it's you and GitHub Copilot. You both are working as a team. And how you can use Copilot? Copilot will assist you with lot many different tasks. Like for example, you forgot to document your code. Copilot will do that. You want to review your code. You want somebody to review your code and understand if your code has followed all the best practices, right? You can ask Copilot to do that for you, right? Copilot can help you to generate unit test. Copilot will even help you complete the code, auto completion. Copilot will help you to explain the code. Many times it happens like, how many of you have this experience? Like you were assigned a different project. You were working on project A and you got assigned another project, project B. And before you were assigned another project, there was a knowledge transfer session handled. A knowledge transfer KT session was scheduled. Some team or somebody explained you about this project, right? The KT happened. But then later when you started actually working on it, there were lot many things for which you had no idea. And you were struggling to find source, or you were struggling to get information about it. How many of you have experienced this? Anyone? That your KT session were not sufficient? It does happen every time. Many a time it does happen in KT session, people don't pay attention. If you ask them, okay, have you understood everything? You have any questions, queries? And they are like, no, we don't have any questions right now. Once we start working on it, we might come up with questions. This is where Copilot can even help you with that. Copilot can get inside the code and tell you what is all about it. Copilot can get inside the code for you and tell you what is all inside it, right? What kind of code it is, or what it is actually trying to achieve. All that information Copilot will provide. Okay. I have some examples for all of you. How Copilot will help us, right? Okay. So Copilot has multiple different use cases, and I have listed 5 use cases here. Let me zoom in. Copilot can document your code. Copilot will review your code. Copilot can generate unit test for you. Copilot allows you to complete your code as you type. So you enter few words and Copilot will immediately suggest something for you. And then Copilot will also explain you the code, right? All these use cases we have with Copilot. So it is like while you're working on a project, there is a smart assistant that you have, a smart assistant that can help you with all those activities, or he, she, it, whatever pronouns you use. This assistant will always be with you. But guess what? Be responsible. AI can make mistakes. AI is going to give you just the suggestions. It is your decision whether or not to accept those suggestions and use them. Make sense? Hello? So tomorrow, if you were able to finish your task, if you are able to finish the task assigned in just 50% of time, in half the time, right? Who will be who will be credited for it? You, not Copilot. You did it in half the time, right? And what if whatever task you have completed, if ultimately it fails to work, who will be blamed for it? You will be blamed for it. So whether it works, it doesn't work, you were able to complete it on time, you were not able to complete it on time, the blame and credit both goes to you, not to Copilot, because Copilot is just a tool. Is that clear? Hello? Yes. And it's not entirely searching Google, Aniket. It's much smarter than that. Using Copilot, Copilot is like an AI-based tool which will actually generate the code, create new code. It's not just simply copying and pasting code from somewhere on Google search. No. Okay. It will generate the new piece of code. Yeah, there is a chance that code generated by Copilot might match an existing code in some open source repository, but it's not doing a copy paste. It is generating a fresh code. Okay. Yes. Basics are for Google. I will explain you that as well. Google learns from existing catalog of website. You know from where GitHub learns? GitHub learn from open source repositories which are already there on GitHub. Is that clear? Lots of people have created, or lots of open source projects are already hosted on GitHub. GitHub has deployed GPT-4o model and fine-tuned it and feed it all the source code they have available under their open source repositories. That is how Copilot has learned or Copilot has mastered all the programming languages from those GitHub repositories. And it will use that learning to generate a fresh code for you. Yes, Shashank. Let me give you an kind of a extreme example. Copilot will even help you with languages like COBOL. COBOL, a programming language much older than C language. Yes, Copilot can generate SQL queries also, but it can make mistakes while generating SQL queries. And you have to be very specific, Shashank. If you are asking Copilot to generate an SQL query, you also have to tell Copilot what database you are planning to use. Because there is a possibility that you just ask Copilot to generate SQL and it generated an SQL which is compatible with Oracle DB, but not compatible with MS SQL. So you should frame your question in such a way that you tell Copilot what kind of database you are planning to use. So accordingly, Copilot will generate an SQL query compatible for that particular database. Because databases, SQL is a language, but there are so many dialects. SQL used in Oracle database is different. SQL used in MS SQL is different. SQL used in MySQL is different, right? So you have to provide some context in there. Fine. So another point here, sorry, not this. Another point here is the model I'm talking about, GPT-4o. GPT-4o, the same model is used by ChatGPT and same model is used by GitHub. But GitHub has fine-tuned this model. How GitHub fine-tuned this model? GitHub already has several billion lines of code, billions of lines of code available on GitHub. But please remember, it's only the public open source project, right? GitHub will never touch any private source code. Is that clear? GitHub will never use any private code for any kind of learning or any kind of uh, model building. No. GitHub will by default use only the public open source code, which is available for everyone to study, right? So what GitHub has done, GitHub has implemented this model and fine-tuned this model, right? Use this model to learn from billions of lines of code, which is already available on GitHub. And with this building, you got this GitHub Copilot as a service, which uses this fine-tuned model. You ask question and GitHub can answer that. Okay. It has learned everything from those repositories. Okay. And because of that, now has support for so many different programming languages. Now, rather, you will be surprised to know that it's not just programming languages. GitHub can help you with PHP. GitHub can help you with HTML. GitHub can help you with CSS. GitHub can help you with JavaScript. GitHub can help you with JavaScript frameworks like Angular and React. Okay. GitHub can help you with SQL. GitHub can help you with Terraform templates. Yes, GitHub can help you with that as well. GitHub can help you write Ansible playbooks. So it's not only for developers. Yes, Aniket. GitHub is constantly learning from open source repositories, their updates and everything. Yeah. Ansible playbooks, and then lot many other kind of contents like Docker files, Kubernetes manifest, and many other types of languages it does know. Okay, so GitHub knows lot many different development platforms. Whatever you do, you may not be actually using all the use cases of GitHub Copilot. It might happen that you are using GitHub Copilot for a particular language or particular platform, right? And once out of nowhere, you ask GitHub a question of a totally different language or platform, and GitHub Copilot answered it. And you were surprised to know that it has support for that particular programming language or that particular text file as well. But let me tell you in advance, Copilot is strictly a text generation engine. it cannot create UML diagram. Are you clear? You cannot ask Copilot, hey Copilot, this is my Java file, convert it into a class diagram. No, Copilot can't do that. Or you cannot give Copilot a UML diagram and ask Copilot to generate a code from it. Copilot cannot do that because Copilot doesn't know how to read any binary file. Is that clear? In one of the previous session, yeah, OpenAI can do that. Unfortunately or fortunately, GPT-4, original GPT-4 model can do that. But Copilot has fine-tuned this model. Copilot's GPT-4 cannot do that. But OpenAI GPT-4, the original model, can do that. In one of my previous session, one participant asked me a question. Can I give Copilot an Excel file and ask Copilot questions based on data inside Excel file? Right? I gave two answers. Number one, simple answer. Simplified one, no. Copilot will not read Excel file. But second, possible. How? Convert that Excel file into CSV, comma separated verb. Do you know what is CSV? It's a text file. And if it is a text, Copilot can read it. If it is a text, Copilot can read it. So convert it into a CSV and then ask Copilot a question based on the CSV file. And Copilot will answer you that question. Okay. So that's the limitation of Copilot. Only text generation. Okay. Yeah. Fine. So Copilot is built on billions of lines of code, which is already available with GitHub. But every time you ask a question to Copilot, Copilot is not like Google that it will go and search similar code in one of the GitHub repositories. No, Copilot will not do that. Copilot will use its own learning to generate the required code. It's not like a search engine where it will simply go and search for the similar code and copy and paste it. Okay, just a minute. Yes. So Copilot will search. Copilot will not search. Copilot will generate a content based on its own learning. Now, so Copilot is an AI powered code assistant. Its main responsibility is to help the developers. Now, one more thing. Many times a very commonly asked question is, if Copilot can generate the original code, does it mean it's going to replace developers? And the good news, no, it's not going to replace developers. It's not going to replace developers. Copilot is assistant. It's not going to take driver's seat. Copilot is a co-driver, right? Copilot is a co-driver. Assist the driver to drive, developer to drive it, right? It's no way going to take the driving seat and do everything on its own. You know what is going to be the uh, disadvantage of AI-based tool in development? Now, expectations from your team will be much higher, right? Next time when somebody asks you to develop something, they expect you to develop everything in half the time. They expect you to develop everything in half the time. Why? Because there is a AI assistant with you. Is that clear? Hello? Let me give you an example of a airlines industry. Airlines. Do you know that almost every aircraft, commercial aircraft, already has autopilot mode? And it use all these type of tools that assist their pilots to fly the aircraft with the assistant. Today's pilots cannot fly aircraft with the if aircraft doesn't have all those fancy features, right? Yes, but you know what is the impact of this? Now, airlines expect a pilot, right, to have more flights, like work on more flights. Why? Because they expect, okay, fine, what you have to do? Concentrate more on liftoff and touchdown. When it is flying in the air, most of the time you put it on airplane mode. So it's not going to take pilot seat. It is always going to be a co-pilot. GitHub has never an intention to replace developers, right? If something goes wrong, you need a human to be blamed. Oh, sorry, that's my personal opinion. Move on. It uses machine learning model trained on billions of lines of code, exactly the point I made, to suggest entire lines or even functions based on context of your current work. So it will understand your context, what you are working on. And based on that, it will generate code based on what you are working on. It will understand context. I will help you understand what this context is all about. By utilizing GitHub Copilot, you can improve your coding skill and increase your productivity. What do you mean by productivity? If building an application requires a team of size 10, same application can be built with team of just 3 or 4 developers with Copilot with each developer. So instead of employing, let's say 10 people to work on a project, you will have 3 people or 4 people, each one given Copilot. And now they can build same thing. That is what benefit Copilot will offer to IT organizations. They need fewer people. So Copilot is somehow going to affect all of us, right? How? Copilot is not there to replace us. People who know how to use Copilot or people who know how to use AI, they will replace us. Is that clear? Hello? Right? Okay. Who can use GitHub Copilot? So GitHub Copilot is so good. How can I get my hands on Copilot then? You can use Copilot through a free account. Now there is a free tier available with GitHub Copilot. What you need is GitHub account and VS Code text editor. Anyway, you can get free account. You can get individual account. We call it pro account. You can get business and you can get enterprise. There are now 4 pricing plans available with GitHub Copilot. Let me show you how many of them are there and how do you access it. So let's go for github.com features Copilot pricing. Here it is. So there is the first one called GitHub Copilot free account. If you want to sign up for GitHub Copilot free account, you just need a free or you just need a personal GitHub account. You create a GitHub account now and you get Copilot along with it for $0. There would be several restrictions. Okay. You can also use it directly from VS Code. So create your own GitHub account and use VS Code, and you can start using Copilot directly from inside VS Code. Okay. It provides, now there is a limit. It provides 2000 code completion and 50 chat requests per month. If you want more than 50 messages, you need to go with Pro plan. If you use GitHub Copilot Pro, you get $10 per month per user, right? $10 per user per month. This is GitHub Copilot Pro edition. In GitHub Copilot Pro edition, you get unlimited chat completions, chat requests. Then there is another plan, which is Copilot Business. Right now, I'm using Copilot Business. Copilot Business will be $19 per user per month. And then Enterprise, which will be $39 per user per month. But there are 2 essential benefits of Enterprise. Number one, you can ask Copilot to read and understand your own private source code. Are you getting my point? You can ask Copilot, hey, Copilot, this is my code repositories. I want you to go and learn from my code, and whatever suggestions you will give me to in future, those suggestions would be based on existing code which I have in my repositories only. Don't give me public suggestions, or give me public suggestions plus my own private suggestions. Is that clear? That is enterprise. If an organization requires that kind of code generation, they should go with GitHub Copilot Enterprise. Second benefit of Copilot Enterprise, you can use your existing SSO, single sign-on. Your individual developers, they don't have to sign up on GitHub at all. They can just go and use their existing account to sign in into VS Code or Visual Studio or whichever IDE they use, and use GitHub Copilot directly from your official account, right? Is that clear? So if your organization is, if you are working for ABC, for example, a random name, right? Assume that ABC, organization ABC, went to GitHub and purchased a GitHub Copilot Enterprise plan. All the users, right? User1@abc.com, user2@abc.com, they can be given access to Copilot Enterprise. But then abc.com has to pay GitHub Copilot $39 per user per month. Make sense? So this one is actually for large enterprises. This one is for medium organizations. This is for individual developers. And this is for people who want to just see how Copilot works. Is that clear? Now, if you want to know what all more details you will get, these are the features which are available to all these users, right? Like for free users, you get only 2000 real-time code completions, right? And if I scroll down further, you can see here. Okay, let me give you some kind of features which are available, not available to free users. Let's say, for example, you have created a free user account, right? Free account. And you want to upgrade your application from Java 8 to Java 17. Sorry, that is not available to free users. That's available to pro business and enterprise users, right? You want to review your code in GitHub? That's not available to free users. You want to use something called Copilot Workspace? Copilot Workspace is not available to free users, right? So there are few things which are not available to free users. Now, there is a question from Shashank. Does it support only Microsoft Visual Studio Code or it supports Visual Studio? It supports Visual Studio Code and Visual Studio both. Rather, these are the IDEs which are currently supported. Azure Data Studio, Eclipse for Java developers, JetBrains IDEs. Now, JetBrains has multiple IDEs set up. Like you can use it in JetBrains, IntelliJ IDEA, JetBrains, PyCharm for Python developers, and so on, right? Is there anybody who's using any JetBrains IDEs? Anyone? Yes, Siddhant, PyCharm you use. Good. So PyCharm is supported by GitHub Copilot. You can install GitHub Copilot extension in PyCharm. But then you have to also log in into GitHub from inside PyCharm. Okay, so these are the IDEs which are supported. Okay, Golang is IDE for Go language. Okay, then PHP Storm is for PHP developers. PyCharm is for Python developers. Rider is for .NET developers. RubyMine is for Ruby developers, and so on. So all those IDEs from IntelliJ are supported. Sorry, all these JetBrains IDEs are supported. VIM, Neo VIM is also supported, right? There are instructions given on how you can install it on VIM, which is a Linux editor. And it is supported in Visual Studio. Visual Studio is a full-fledged development environment used by .NET developers predominantly. And there are others like Xcode and Visual Studio Code. Okay, so multiple IDEs are currently supported, officially supported. Fine. Yeah. What you can do is just log in into your GitHub account, right? Like this. And once you have successfully logged in into your GitHub account, click on the user profile icon. And there is an option here under this context menu. There is an option, Your Copilot. Click on it, and it will show you if you have any access to Copilot. You will notice one thing. Right now, I have GitHub Copilot business account. Notice this. Hello? Right? Okay. If you have a personal account, you will get free tier access. Depends, like which access type you have. If you don't have Copilot access, you will get a button, a small green button, right? There will be two options given to you if you are a new user. Either use free account or sign up for free tier of free 30 days tier of, free 30 days trial of GitHub Copilot Pro plan, $10 plan. First 30 days are free. Okay. So you have those options now. Right now, I already have an account or I already have access. So that's fine. Fine. What it can do, core capabilities. Copilot can generate code automatically. Copilot can correct the code. Copilot can even predict what you are going to do. Like you are writing something and Copilot will suddenly generate everything for you. Copilot can predict. Can Copilot perform completion? Yes. Can Copilot generate the comments? Yes. Can Copilot create the comment from the code? Answer is yes. Okay, one thing I did not mention earlier. Do you know Copilot even knows how to write shell script? Yes, Copilot can even understand shell script. Let me open one of my existing project folder here in Copilot. I guess it's in, yeah, found it. Let me open the folder. You will notice one thing. I am right now using Visual Studio Code. And did you notice the small icon on the top? This is GitHub Copilot. Copilot is already installed in VS Code. And what I would recommend, you should use VS Code version 1.92 or 1.91 onwards, right? Right now I'm using VS Code version 1.98. Okay. So it already has everything, or it is already, you can say, have the compatible extension for using Copilot. I'm using VS Code version 1.98.2. Okay, make sure you have VS Code with latest version of VS Code. Then here there is a user account. You will notice one thing under user account, there is already a signed up here. I have already logged in here with my GitHub account. Notice this. I have already logged in or I have already signed up for my GitHub Copilot here. Okay, I have already logged in into my GitHub from VS Code. I can sign out and sign in again if I want, right? Once you make sure that you have already signed in, you are ready to go. You can start using Copilot from VS Code. Fine. So let's assume VS Code is already there and you have GitHub Copilot already registered into it. And now these are several sample applications I will show you. Somebody here mentioned that they know Python. So let's try understand the Python code now. This is my sample Python code, right? And looks like some code is already generated here from the comment. You will be surprised to know all this data or all this code was generated from a comment. Let me show you this. You know what is happening? I just press enter and can you see the code which is appearing here in gray color? That is generated code from Copilot. All this code was generated by Copilot. Copilot will read the comment and based on comment, it will generate the code. All this code was generated by Copilot. You can see the comments, right? All of that. What if, what if you are new to a programming language, right? I don't know what is written here. So let me do one thing. Let's ask Copilot a certain question. Let's say I don't understand this particular code block. So I selected a code block. I selected this code block and there is this icon here, code action. Can you see there is an option here called review using Copilot? Copilot can do code review. Let's see if Copilot can review this code and give me some input on it. So when you say review, Copilot will show you first what this code is doing. So Copilot is saying the loop variable sales order could benefit from more descriptive name, such as top sales order, to clarify the role in the context of top 3 sales order. Is it giving me a suggestion to improve my code? It's not trying to give me any compilation error. It's not showing any error. It is giving me suggestions. Are you getting my point? Hello? That is code review. Fine. So it is giving me a suggestion on this line. And guess what? You can accept the suggestion or you can reject the suggestions. Okay. So this is the modified code. Red one is the old one. Green one is the new code. Either you accept it or you just ignore it. What is the next suggestion here? Look at this. Calculation of sales order quantity sold is repeated in line number 155. So you know what Copilot is telling me? Why are you repeating it multiple times? Just do it once, store the result in a variable, and just use that variable at multiple places. Does it make sense? Hello? Even though you are not Python developers, but I guess this is a very common issue or very common, you can say, suggestion for all programming languages. Why should you do a computing activity twice? If you are doing it twice, just do it once, store the result in a variable and just use the variable again. Make sense? Shashank, Ashok, Sridevi, Dipali, Poonam mentioned yes, right, correct. Thank you, Poonam. There is also this here. The calculation order profit in 200 does not handle the case where order total sale is zero, which could lead to zero division error. Did you notice that? A very common issue actually. Freshers always do this mistake, arithmetic exception or division by zero error. And Copilot is a expert who will give you an alternative solution. So this is the old line and this is the new line given by Copilot. And this time, I believe I should accept it. So let's apply the change and go and check the next review. Oh, now it's looking for the next one. So this is called Copilot review. Understood, everyone? Copilot can review the code. And it's not just Copilot knows only one programming language. No, you are mistaken. Copilot knows lot many different languages, right? Copilot can even generate shell script. For example, what if I create a shell script here? Let's say I want to install Kubernetes using shell script. Now my name of the file is install KTS, right? Let me just write here a statement echo updating. Now echo is basically a message updating. Oh, wait a second. Updating. I just wrote UB and it is saying Ubuntu. Is it suggesting what I should write next? It's saying yes. Okay, I will accept it. Oh, I don't want upgrade. Now here, let me write a next command. Oh, wow. Installing Docker. Fine. Okay. Starting Docker. Okay. Enabling Docker. Okay. This is called code completion. Are you getting my point? Now, this is where it goes wrong. These packages are not available directly. This is where it makes a mistake, right? Let me say you need to first add signing key. Now, Kubernetes know this because it has understood this type of process from lots of code repositories. So it is giving me an active suggestions. This is called auto completion or code completion. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah. Kubernetes, GitHub already knows how to write shell script. It's not just programming languages, it knows even the scripting environment. And if you think it cannot generate PowerShell, think again. It can even understand PowerShell. PowerShell, shell script, PHP, HTML, many languages it already knows. But remember, those suggestions, it is your responsibility to check whether those suggestions actually work. Go and try them, test them, and only then accept them. Okay? Yes? Fine. So it can predict code, it can autocomplete code, it can even generate comment. Let's try to understand how Copilot will understand the comment or how Copilot will put comments on a code. Now, this time I'm going to give you this example. There is this program.cs file, and looks like there is already documentation present. I don't want these documentations. Let me remove everything, or I can ask Copilot to do that. I want Copilot. Hey, Copilot, remove all documentation or remove all doc comments. Okay, I have given the file program.cs, and GitHub Copilot will now delete all the comments from this document. That's the context. I gave a context. In this file, I want you to remove all the comments from this file. Copilot will do that now. I'm using a feature called Copilot Edit. Copilot Edit can edit the files on your behalf. Okay. Okay, fine. Yeah. So you can see all the changes, all the comments removed. And let's ask Copilot to apply some comments now. Okay. Like for example, I don't know what this particular method is doing. Let's do one thing. You just select the code and let's ask Copilot to comment on it. There is also a feature available in VS Code, which is called Quick Chat. Press Control I and you will get a small chat panel right here, or inline chat or quick chat, whatever you call it. And let's use a shortcut /doc, which is a shortcut which says put a documentation comment on this method. Let's see what happens now. Copilot is thinking about it. It will study the code and it will give you a documentation comment about this method. Did you notice Copilot just commented my code? And it is trying to explain me what this code does. Now, by the way, those people who are not aware of .NET, .NET use something called XML doc, create documentation comment. And it's not just this. Copilot can, of course, comment a Java application and a Python application as well. So if you want to try this with Python application, just go to the Python application, for example, and ask Copilot to comment that. Okay, like for example, quarterly sales report. Let me ask Copilot to generate comment for it. Copilot will generate a comment that will describe what this function is actually going to do. Okay, and Copilot is doing that quite fast. Notice that? Yes. Now, do you know that those who have used Python, this is how in Python you write documentation comment using 3 double quotes. And this will describe what this function is actually doing and what all argument it has, what is return type, and some additional notes about it. This is how you write documentation comment in Python. Make sense? Now, I'm not sure whether in Python documentation comment is written below method or above method. What is best practice here? Anyone? Is this written below the method, below the signature, or above signature, like other programming languages? How do you put documentation comment in your Python code? Below the method. Yes, then Copilot is doing it right. Below method signature. Fine. And yes, Copilot can generate comment even for Java application, but right now I don't have any Java application here. All these are either .NET application. Most of them are .NET application, and there is only one Python application here. Anyways, yeah. Can it create code from the comment? Yes. You write a comment and Copilot can generate a code from the comment as well. Okay, like in shell script, if you add a comment, it will generate a script to do that. Okay, or in Python application also, like for example, let's try something like this. Let's ask Copilot to create something from comment. I'll say calculate age of person using date of birth, right? And you can see as soon as I entered it, it is trying to give me a suggestion. What I can also do is, instead of accepting a suggestion like this, I can press Control Enter at the end. It will show multiple suggestions for me now. GitHub Copilot will now show multiple suggestions in a suggestion panel. Let's wait for it. So this is suggestion number 1. Why? I don't know why it's giving me quarterly income report. I was expecting it to give me answer for this question only. Okay, it's actually looking at this method, unfortunately. Anyway, let's use the auto completion. Keep pressing enter and next part of code will be written. What I'm doing is I'm using tab to accept the suggestion. Is that clear? Make sense? So Copilot can generate the code from comment. Okay. Now, what are the other capabilities? If we talk about capabilities, Copilot can even generate unit test. Copilot can explain you the code. Copilot can propose code correction that we have already seen using Copilot review, code review, and Copilot will even answer the coding related question. Okay. To give you an example, let's say, for example, this entire project, notice the name of the project, APL 2007 M3 Python, right? That's the project. And there is a requirement.txt file here. So what I will do, I will ask Copilot a question. Let's open Copilot chat. And in Copilot chat, oh, somebody has already written explain. I don't want this. I want to start a new chat. Okay, let's ask Copilot a question. Requirement.txt is already present here. Let me ask Copilot a question. what would be system requirements to run this project on my Ubuntu 24.04 system. Let Copilot read it and give me some response, right? Copilot is so smart that Copilot is saying if you are using Ubuntu 24.04, just check if you already have Python installed, right? There is a chances that Python is already installed. If it is not installed, install it manually and check the version number. If Python is installed, install PIP, Python Package Manager. Then create the virtual environment. Then go to this folder. Notice this APL 2007 M3 Python. Then create the virtual environment, activate the virtual environment, install this requirement.txt file, right? Install the PyTest. In case if you don't use this, you can manually install it. Install the build essentials and then run PyTest to run the test. Is this instructions correct? Anyone from Python language background? Poonam, is this correct? Is it a correct way to run this Python application on Ubuntu? Yes, so Copilot will answer questions related to the code. Okay, I can also ask Copilot a question. Is it possible to run this Python project on older version, Python 2.7? Or you can ask it straight away whether it is compatible with Python 2.7. Let's see what it will generate. It says that no, you cannot run this on Python 2.7 because PyTest version specified in your requirement.txt 6.2.5 does not support 2.7. In case if you want to use this application in Python 2.7, you have to downgrade your PyTest version to 5.0. Did you notice that? And let me tell you again, it's not just only with Python. You can ask Copilot question about your .NET project, saying that whether this project will run with .NET Core 3.1, right? And it will analyze your project and tell you whether it is possible or not. You can ask Copilot question related to Java, whether this particular language is supported, this particular version is supported. Or you can ask question about other languages like Golang or PHP, C++, etc. Yes? Okay, let me ask Copilot an unrelated question. Let's start a new chat. I don't want this file as well. So let's close all the files. Totally unrelated question. What is size of integer variable in C++, right? Using 16-bit and 32-bit compilers. Let's ask a generic question. Yes. Copilot is so smart, it already knows C and C++ language. Copilot knows that size of variable in C++ compiler depends on which type of compiler you are using. 16-bit compiler, it is 2 bytes. 32-bit compiler, it is 4 bytes, right? Let me ask a question. How about Turbo C, Turbo C++ IDE? Anybody here worked with Turbo C or even seen that interface, maybe in college days? Now you will notice one thing. This time I did not even repeat my question about integer variable and its size. I just said, what about Turbo C++ IDE? And GitHub Copilot understood it. Why? Because of my previous question. Previous question was about size of integer variable. And next question is how about Turbo C++? So Copilot is able to link those two things together. Is that clear? Hello? And do you know, it is actually generating a simple C++ code snippet also for me. And you can continue doing that. How do I run Turbo C in Windows 11? You can ask questions, technical questions to Copilot, right? You will notice there is a big mismatch. Windows is 64-bit and Turbo C is 16-bit, right? But still there are several options available and it will help you with detailed steps on how you can achieve it. Multiple options are given. Make sense? So you can ask any coding related question to Copilot. You can Copilot can propose code correction. This is for this you have to just select the code and use Copilot review. Copilot can explain the code. You can use /explain and Copilot will explain that code to you. And you can use unit test. Let me use extreme example of explain code. One extreme example of explaining the code. Let's get back here and let's go to this particular project. And let me do one thing. I will just keep two files open, program.cs and this CSPROJ file. Okay, these two files are open. This is CSPROJ file, which is basically a .NET solution file or project configuration file. You can see this project is including these dependencies. Now let's go to program.cs and let's ask question to Copilot. Okay, what I will do is I'm going to select certain line of code. Okay, let's say this code basically. And let me ask Copilot a question. Explain. I don't know what these two lines are, right? Let me ask Copilot to explain me this. Right? So Copilot is able to explain everything. Let me just shift everything to chat window here for better readability. Okay. The code selection initialize new instance of GPIO controller and open specific GPIO. It's even giving me full form of GPIO. General purpose input output pin in output mode. This is designed to manage pin on device, allowing user to control hardware component like LED sensor or peripherals connected to device. How does Copilot know all about this? Because it's just a variable, right? GPIO. How does Copilot know what it stands for? Hello? Any guess? Let me tell you why. Copilot is able to correlate few things. How Copilot is able to correlate things? Number one, notice the using statements, import statement. GPIO is imported here using import statement. I2C, BMX, all is imported. And if you go to CSPROJ file, you can see a dependency bin included here. So what Copilot did, Copilot simply searched for what is the system.device.gpio and what is this Azure devices shared, Azure devices client and IoT device finding. From these packages, Copilot came to know that this code is actually for some kind of IoT devices, remote sensor devices, some kind of, right? And based on that, it generated this documentation. Isn't it smart? How much time it might have taken to actually search all this information manually without Copilot? Without Copilot, it might have taken maybe an hour or two. But with Copilot, it's just taking few seconds or maybe a minute for Copilot to give me all this information. Okay. It's not like you cannot find all this thing on your own, but finding everything on your own might have taken a lot of time, whereas Copilot can do all that for you pretty fast. Okay. It can explain you the code. You give it any piece of code and it will explain that to you. Let's say, for example, if I go to this code here, another C# code, and let's do one thing. Can you see the sales data construct? Hello? Okay, let me ask Copilot a question. Now, this is going to be another interesting example. Control Shift R. This is Copilot Edit. And let me ask Copilot a question. Can you generate a database schema compatible with Oracle 12c? Oh, sorry, not use Oracle. Let's use MS SQL 2019 from structures, structs defined in my code. So can it convert all these structures, whatever structures I have defined in this program.cs is already included. I want all those structures to be converted into a database schema. Database schema means convert into tables, right? I will provide additional prompt. Generate database schema dot SQL file. I'm giving a file name also to Copilot Edit. Let's see if Copilot can generate a SQL file for me. You will notice Copilot is now generating a database schema.sql file for me. Yes, done already. Wow, great. Let's see what is there in this file. If I click on file name, here is the file. Notice this. Create table, sales data. Create table, prod department. Create table, manufacturing side. Then insert into prod department. It's even converting those records into insert statement. It did that as well. All this data is taken from the program.cs file only. Is that clear? Let's keep it. But let's say I made a mistake. I told my team I used Copilot, or I told my team, okay, I've created an SQL query, tables. But then my team went back to me and they said, Mahendra, you did a mistake. We are not using MS SQL. We are using PostgreSQL. Can you quickly translate these SQL queries, insert statement, create statement, to work with PostgreSQL instead of MS SQL? So let's do one thing. Let's ask a question. Translate SQL to make it compatible with PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL. Let's see if it can be translated. See, there is also a possibility that it might already be compatible. In that case, Copilot will simply say that it's already compatible and no changes required. But if it is not compatible, it will make it. Let's wait for it. It did some changes, right? Nvarchar data type is not supported in PostgreSQL. So it removed Nvarchar and replaced it with varchar. Now I have a question for you. Is it possible to use Copilot to generate comments in SQL queries? It is actually showing us how it changed or what changes it did. Replace these nvarchar into varchar. You can see it here. And replaced float to real type. Either you keep the changes or you reject them. Let me use keep option to keep the changes. Anything crazy you want to do now? Hello? Now, how do I convert this product department into a CSV file? Is it possible for Copilot to extract this data and put it into a CSV file? And if yes, then how I should do it? You tell me what should I write here in a prompt? Anyone? What should I write here in Copilot so that Copilot will convert this into a CSV file? Write down a statement in chat and I will just copy and paste it into Copilot chat to see if whatever you have written, is it going to work with Copilot now? So I have taken a prompt written by Poonam, write the data of particular table in CSV file. Or rather, instead of saying particular table, I'll say selected table in CSV file. You can even specify the name of file. Let's not specify any name, press enter and see how it works now. Looks like it has created a script. It's saying you can do that with PostgreSQL. In PostgreSQL, there is a script we can use. But now this is where it made a mistake, right? I don't want this. Let's undo. I don't want this. I want Copilot to generate the code, right? So let me ask Copilot, generate, let's say, PROD department dot CSV with all the data from insert query or all the selected data. Let's see if it can generate it. Is it able to generate the CSV file now? Hello? Now it gave me a CSV file, actual content. Is that clear? Don't worry. You will learn how to use Copilot efficiently, but you just need a practice. Is that clear? It might be possible that first time when you write a prompt, it may not give you expected result. Just ask another question. Rephrase your question. Just rephrase your question. Just use new words, provide additional context to details, and Copilot will get it on the second attempt or third attempt. Is that clear? Hello? So if Copilot will do everything, what you should do? You should learn how to use effective prompt or how to use correct prompt, how to get the task done or get the work done from Copilot. Is that clear? Any questions, any queries, anyone? Or do you have any question that I should write here to Copilot? Do you have any technical questions which you want Copilot to answer? If you have any question, write your question in a chat window. I will put it in a Copilot chat and let's see if Copilot can answer that. Okay, so we got one, how we connect to AWS Athena with Python. Yes, Copilot will happily generate the code, but just do one thing. Let's close all this thing so that there is no context here and put this question now. Let's press enter and let's see if Copilot know how to do that. Yes, Copilot is giving me even the source code, connect athena.py. So you might have to make some changes to the code. There are some placeholders that you need to update, right? Yes. So Copilot can make it easier for you, right, to write a code. Please remember one thing. If you notice one thing, the free tier access of Copilot gives you only 50 chat interactions, right? So it is good enough to just try Copilot, but not good enough to actually use it in your everyday task. There is a possibility that you might consume that all 50 transactions in just one day. Are you getting my point? Hello? So if you want to use GitHub Copilot in your development, you should actually go with minimum pro tier, the $10 subscription, or just wait for your organization to purchase GitHub Enterprise and GitHub Enterprise Copilot, and they will give you access later, right? Okay. So either you use Copilot personal or you can use Copilot from business or from enterprise. Both the options are there. Now, one small note for all of you, Shubh has shared a feedback link, right? So yeah, I guess it is shared here. Yeah, Shubh had shared a feedback link with all of you. Can you just give 2 minutes and fill up the feedback form quickly, and then we'll continue? Okay, fine. I hope you have all filled up the feedback form. Hello? Yeah, let's continue. So we can do all this thing with Copilot, create, explain the code, propose suggestion. Now, final thing, we can also generate unit test, okay, with Copilot. By the way, before we see this part, I have a question for all of you. Who do you think is responsible for creating or writing unit test? Who's supposed to write unit test? A tester or a developer? Yeah, anyone? It's not both. Unit test is a responsibility of a developer, not a tester. Tester will write later, like integration, system, UI, functional test, etc. For unit test, it is a responsibility of a developer only. Okay. So you as a developer, you should write test cases. Anyway, is it possible to generate unit test with Copilot? And yes, it can be. And it also knows how to generate test for different types of project. It can generate unit test for a .NET application. It can generate unit test for a Java application. It can even modify existing unit test. To show you an example, let's go back to this project here. And okay, I don't want this one right now. I'll not save this. Let's go back to the project directory and I'll go to this particular project here. Wait a second. Prime test. You can see the test is already generated and these are the test cases. You can even ask Copilot to modify these test cases if required. Like for example, there is a test case to return if number one is prime, number two is prime, number three is prime, and number four is prime. Did you notice that? Hello? So these are individual methods. Is it possible to convert this into a single method? Let's ask Copilot. What I'll do is let's mark the previous transaction as done and start a fresh one. Convert all these test methods into a single method with multiple test inputs. Let's see if Copilot can understand my wordings and convert it into a single method with multiple inputs. So I've selected 4 different methods and I'm expecting Copilot to convert it into a single method. And yes, Copilot understood my words. So all these methods are now deleted. You can see the right, all of them are red. And now they are converted into a single method with multiple input data. Notice this. Hello? It will check if number one is prime. For number one, it should be false. For number two, it should be true. For number three, it should be true. Number four, it must be false because four is not a prime number. And if I keep the changes, here is my modified test case. So yes, Copilot knows how to generate test case and Copilot also knows how to, let's say, modify existing test cases. Isn't it interesting? Is it possible for Copilot to generate test cases for a Java project? Answer is yes. Let me show you an example of Java. We don't have any Java project here. So let's go to open projects and let's try, I guess this one. Yeah, this one is, no, this is this is actually a front-end application. Yeah, this one is a Java project. Let me open a Java project in VS Code and let's see if Copilot can help me generate. I don't want this. Yeah, Copilot can help me generate something in this project right now. Let's go to the test. There is a book controller test which I want to delete. Okay, I'm deleting this particular file because I want Copilot to generate this. Now here is my Java application. There are REST controllers. There is a REST controller called member controller. There is a REST controller called member controller. This particular Java class, you will notice there are several REST endpoints here. Is it possible to generate a unit test or test cases for testing these methods or testing this particular REST endpoints? That too, how many of you are aware of something called mock objects under unit test? Copilot even knows that, how to create a mock object. So let's see what happens now. But before we try, I will show you one thing. The test folder here is empty. There is nothing in test. Whatever was there, I have deleted it already. Let's ask Copilot a question. Control Shift I. I'm using Copilot Edit, and I want Copilot. Okay, I want Copilot to use this member controller.java and generate test cases. Generate. Okay, there's no need to use /test. Let's say generate test cases for member controller. Use mock object for testing all REST endpoints. Let's see if it can generate the one. Copilot already follows all the coding practices. So what Copilot will do for the given class, it will use Java's naming standard. In Java naming standards, a unit test created for a Java class will actually share the name of the Java class with a suffix test.java. So it created a test.java which use mock MVCs to simulate HTTP request. Let's keep the code and let's go and look inside it. So here is the code. Here is the code. You can see it's using JUnit. JUnit is a framework, right? It's using a JUnit to perform some test. But unfortunately for me, there are compilation errors. Did you notice compilation errors? Yes. Now, if I keep a pointer here, VS Code is showing me a compilation error saying that the constructor member is missing. And did you notice there is a small button here or a link, fix using Copilot? What happens if I use this one, fix using Copilot? It will show you how you can fix this. Copilot is saying you should go to member.java and add a constructor there. Notice this? Let's open this in a chat. Copilot is saying you should add this to member.java. Notice that? Hello? So let me do one thing. Let's open this member class. And while the member.java is open, this is what I want to implement. Can you see a button, apply in editor? Let's hit this button, member.java, and let's see what Copilot will do now. Copilot will fix my code. Okay, but Copilot did one mistake. You know, in Java programming language, if you provide a parameterized constructor, then you also need to provide empty constructor. So let's ask Copilot to create empty constructor as well. Yes, done. Good. So now this code will work fine. And if I go back to this file here, to the test cases, let's see if there is any compilation error now. Right now, there is no compilation error. Wow, that's great. But there is a warning somewhere. Yes. Okay. There is a warning. What is this warning all about? Actually, it's explaining me what it is. I don't want explanation, but let's try to fix it using Copilot. Right. Copilot fixed it, removed it. It was because it was not in use. It was unused import. And when I fixed it, Copilot simply deleted that import line. Notice there is a line gap here. Right? Copilot simply deleted the import statement because it was not in use. Any questions, any queries, anyone about Copilot? Hello? Okay, fine. Thank you, Poonam. Any other questions, anyone? Balaram, Siddhant, Abhay, Dipali, Ashok, Yusuf. Dipali has already mentioned. No, Dipali, no. It's Poonam who has put some questions here. Anybody, any questions? Anything you want to know more about in case of Copilot, GitHub Copilot? That is fine. Do provide your valuable feedback. And if you have any questions, please put your questions in a chat window now. Over to you, Shubh. Do you need to announce anything? Make any kind of announcement now? Thank you, everyone, for joining this session today. Have a good day. Thank you.